Hey guys, it's Julie with Holistic Recovery. I wanted to quickly talk to you guys about mindset and beliefs. So, this is something really important to work with at the beginning stages of your recovery. This is something that is going to shape your recovery. This is something that is so important. You cannot miss this step. This step alone will change your life. And that doesn't mean it's going to happen overnight. This is something that we have to do consistently to change our mindset, change the belief system. And I can assure you that most of us are probably over the age of 18. Maybe we're a little younger. Maybe we're over half of our life done, and we're trying to figure out why we continue to stay in this state of addiction, right? Why are we still here? Why are we not succeeding on the recovery path? Why have we relapsed so many times? Why has it been so difficult to reach that next step? Maybe we're only a couple days and we relapse. Maybe we are 6 months. Maybe it's 5 years, right? Like, it can be at any point and any time in our life. And normally it's because we like to think that it's all figured out. We got it all figured out. It's like, how to say it? Kind of like we got it under control. We've done all the things right. Maybe we've done the steps. Maybe we go to meetings every single day, every week, every month. We've talked to our sponsors. We can't possibly do anything else. And then something happens. We hit a fork in the road, a Y in the road. What if we change careers? What if we're doing something that just is traumatic? Maybe we're in an accident. Maybe somebody has passed, a mom, a dad, a brother, sister. And I think the important piece is, well, one of them is that we have not flipped our mindset and our belief system. This is something that is very fragile at early ages. This is something that we are born, and up till about we're 7 years old, this particular piece has not developed. The frontal lobe has not developed. And that means that everything we hear, everything we see at that age is very much so implanted into our brain, our system. And so when we get yelled at when we're little, like, stop doing that, you're not good enough, you're on a timeout, right? All those little things get implanted, little anchors into our brain. And I think that it's really important at this stage in our life and in our recovery that we look at that. Now, I'm not saying let's go back to when you're 7 and those little anchors got implanted, but it is possible for us to change those anchors, to re-anchor into that part of our brain that makes us who we are, so that we're able to get in there and we're able to change our belief system and our mindset. It takes work and it's challenging. This is not something that's going to happen overnight. I don't have a magic pill for you, you know. I'm just saying let's step back and look at the mindset and our belief system so that we can find our true freedom. This is something I was looking for. Freedom has been the number one piece of my puzzle that I'm like, man, I just want to be free. And somebody asked me, they said, what is that? What are you looking for? Because what in your life makes you think you're not free? And so it got me thinking that I came across a movie or a video on YouTube, and we were talking about freedom, and it was talking about freedom. And I was like, I had to sit back and look at my life and say, I am doing what I am passionate about. I'm doing what I love. I get to build a business. I get to work with other addicts. I get to watch that light bulb go on inside their head. I get to see success. I get to see them love themselves, believe in their self. Like it's the most rewarding piece of my puzzle, and it's beautiful. So I had to sit back and ask myself, what is freedom? Why am I still searching for this? It is right in front of me. I am living it. I am doing it. And I think that is so important. A lot of us are blinded by what is in front of us, right? And maybe somebody hasn't asked you the right question yet. And I think that that's really cool. I think that somebody is going to ask you the right question, and you'll be able to stop and think about that. Or you'll be doing something and the question's going to come to you and you're going to say, what am I looking for? Right? Ask that question and then be open to receiving it in many different shapes and forms, right? Look at what it is that you're doing, what it is you're seeing, and what changes you can make, right? So I think that's definitely a good point and good place to start in your recovery. So I want to talk to you a little bit. We'll go back to the mindset and beliefs. So implanting those anchors, what does that look like, right? And you can do it in many different ways. I find the easiest is when the brain waves are slowed right down. So this may be in a meditation state. This is where I like to do my most work. It can be when you're lying in bed in the morning, maybe before you go to sleep at night. This is a time frame where you are calm. Nothing else is going on around you. Maybe there's light music, and I always suggest music with no words because words are implanting within your process, right? We absorb everything. And I think it's so important to see that if we can take out the crazy words, like there's always a time to listen to good music. But if we take out the words and just relax, turn off that little part of our brain that likes to go crazy and kind of just that little part that we like to just do the to-do list of tomorrow. What did you not get done today? What did you promise you were going to do and you haven't, right? When you're looking at your recovery, maybe you got to a meeting, maybe you put it off. You're like, I don't feel like I need to go today. I'm going to do it tomorrow. Or I was going to call a friend, check in, see how they were doing, that kind of thing. But it can wait, right? So what is that, right? What does that look like for you? And I think finding this spot in your life where you can find the quiet. So for me, for a long time, it was not morning or night. It was, everyone was at work. All my roommates were at work. The dog was, quiet, having sleep. We took a walk. He would go to sleep. It's a time and a space where you can shut down. And in that time, putting on a little bit of music, something light, and allowing the brain to release and let go. So you're going to want to be repeating to yourself, and you can write these things down. I did at the beginning. You're going to write down all your negative thoughts, and I want all of them written down, every single negative thought. And then you're going to look at that list, and you are going to write down all of the opposites. All the opposites to your negatives. One that I struggled with for, 15, 20 something years was, I am not worthy. I am unworthy. I didn't deserve sobriety. I didn't deserve recovery. I didn't deserve a good job. I didn't deserve to be paid. I didn't deserve to be happy. I was unworthy. Every piece of me was unworthy. So if you can imagine, I had quite the long list. But I started this process changing the words. And that meant changing it to being I am. So no more I'm not. This is I am. And every negative I had on that list, I changed over to a positive. And those ones took years. Those ones took years because I was doing this on my own. No one told me that you could have this process change over in a couple weeks, in a couple months. I was determined to live a better life. And I kept watching these videos. I kept saying, I can do that. Why can't I do that? And then I got distracted, and then I got busy, and then I was unhappy, and I was unworthy, and I had to keep coming back to them. They kept coming up, and I'm like, what am I not doing? And it was consistency. I expected that after a week, I fixed the problem. And I'll tell you this, it did not happen in a week. This is months of me repeating day after day. I used to have sticky notes all over just to remind myself that I deserved better. I deserved to have a life of happiness, of joy, of freedom. I was worthy. Who told me I wasn't? I can't even pinpoint that. But it no longer matters. It no longer matters. I can't remember that person. I have no idea how many people probably told me that while I was growing up. But it didn't matter anymore because I'm in control of my life. I'm in control of my thoughts, my belief system, and I had to build my recovery around that. I had to find these little pieces that I could do daily that would help me change my mind. So, now that you have your list of the negatives and you have flipped them, you've looked at them, and you've written all your positives, this is your starting point. So now you've gotten to a comfortable, calm position. You are relaxed. Maybe you have a cup of tea, because that's my go-to. I love tea. Find something you love. This is you. This is all about you. This is your recovery. This is your life. This is your process, and you are building this process. Together, we build this process. And this is the most amazing thing. So you're not in this alone, right? There's always somebody's helping hand out there. And I suggest that you take it. They're offering it for a reason. They're holding their arms out for a hug. They want you to accept their support. You have to make that change. You are not in this alone. And we can do this together. That is one of the most important parts in recovery. This is something that is a gorgeous thing to go over. So back to what we're doing. I think it's important to look at this list, and every day before you get out of bed, because this is when you're in your most calm state, I don't know if you wake up from an alarm or just naturally, whatever this looks like. Normally, when you're in a recovery state of form, you have a little bit more of relaxed time. Many aren't working, many are in a treatment center, many are in all walks of life. So try and maybe pick something a little bit more gentle to wake up to instead of something crazy, to keep that brainwave low. And then what you're going to do is look at this list. And I hope that you've written them. So when you write your list, I should have said this before, is on one half of the piece of paper, right? You've got all your negatives. And then I'm hoping that your paper is big enough so the other half is all your positives. So what you want to do, and you can change this list as many times as needed, because I thought I had everything on it. And then when I started to actually accept the positives, more negatives came up. I was like, shit, I got to do this again, right? Like, it's never ending. So what I want you to do is fold this piece of paper in half so that you can't see the negatives. Fold it in half so you can no longer see them. They're yesterday's, right? And I think it's going to be really important to, if you can, whisper these positives out loud to yourself, right? Like, I am worthy, right? Whisper. Say it with love. Say it with care. Say it to believe it. Go through the list. Feel it. Accept it. And the first time, probably not, right? The first time you might just ramble through the list and be like, okay, I'm done, I'm moving on, right? Keep with consistency. Keep doing it. Keep listening. If it's easier, make a recording, put your headphones in, but I still want you to be saying it out loud. Our minds are, how to put it? Our minds like to play games. You think you're unworthy. You think you're, not happy. And then when we say them out loud, we're like, I am worthy. I am happy. Today, I am so happy. Today's going to be a great day. If we say that in our head, our mind loves comfortable. Our body loves comfort. It's going to be like, no, you don't. You don't want happiness today. But when we say it out loud to ourselves, that is the key. That is what we're looking for. And I think I said that I used to have notes everywhere. And I did. I had them all over the mirrors. I had multiple mirrors. I had them in my purse. I had them in my makeup bag. I had them in my pillowcase, actually. So people couldn't see them. This was super, like, it was me. It was me on a piece of paper. I'm like, I don't want anyone to ever see this, right? I don't want anyone to ever see my struggle. And how many people say that, right? Like, you don't want to show that you're hurting. Of course not. We just want to seem like we have it all together. So say these things to yourself. Say these positive words. Take these positive actions. Do it consistently. Do it where it hurts. Do it where you feel it the most. My easy wake up in the morning and my easy go to bed, right? Like, it eventually became easy for me to do these. I hit a new pain point. I could not say it in front of the mirror. I could not say it in front of the mirror. And better yet, I couldn't say it in front of the mirror when I was naked. This was a challenge. But I shifted my mindset and I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to accept this challenge. I'm going to do it. I'm going to start telling myself right then and there, in this most natural form, that I am worthy. I am beautiful. I am strong. I believe in myself. And today, I am going to change the world. That might be a bit much, but those are the words that I created, and those are the words that stuck with me. And it wasn't so much about, I don't know, ruling the country. It wasn't about that. It was about I was going to rule my world, right? What did I need to do today to get through? And I think that is where you need to look. What is it that you need to hear? What is it that you need to see? What is it that you need to feel in order to start this healing process? So that's my video on mindset and beliefs today. I know I went on a bit of a ramble, but I hope that this can help somebody who's struggling. If you are interested in creating this list together, perhaps you need somebody to really pull the words deep down out. You know, what is it that's really those bottom root words that are so blocked that you don't even know what are? If this is where you're at and you want a little extra support, a little extra help getting through this little stage of like just changing, taking action, this is it. So when you're ready, ask for help. And when that hand reaches out to you, accept it. Okay? That's going to be one of the most important parts of your change. That right there. Because we can't do this alone. I did it alone for way too long, and I failed and I failed and I failed. Now, when I started accepting, when I started believing and asking questions, asking for help, figuring it out, that's when life started to change. I no longer went back to those limiting beliefs. Sure, other things come up. Sure, I've got to write them down again. But on a daily basis, I found my freedom. I found my missing piece. I figured out the steps that I needed to take and what a change that they've done for me. So I hope that this video has helped, and I hope that you're ready to share your story. Maybe you have something similar that you do. I would love to hear it. I would love to connect. I'm open to any suggestions, what's worked for you. This is just one of the pieces that has worked for me, and I wanted to share because I think it is so important to find your own path, right? That's what we want to be doing, is creating that path. Your recovery is different than mine, and that's okay. It's all about finding your way, right? You don't have to fit into the box. Into the box that says this is what's, that box is traditional, and it's there for a reason, and we love that. Those are great traditions. But let's go a bit further. Let's reach a bit higher. Let's find the love within ourselves. And then we can start to help others. Then we can start to share with others. And that's when we can start to make that impact. So I hope to hear from you if you find this video useful. Anything that you would love to comment on, anything you would love to tell me, to share with me. I'm always open for conversation. You can always get a hold of me at Holistic Recovery Coach on Facebook. You can visit my website, holisticrecoveryguide.com. I am always available for communicating, for talking, for support, guidance, any of the above. So I hope that you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching this crazy video on mindset and beliefs. But this is how I was feeling today, and it's so important that we start to break down the blocks that are holding us back. This is the start. This is the starting point. So let's do it. Let's do it together because we need to do it together. Thank you guys.